Well, memes are still hot. In fact, investment manager Van Eyck, who also have a Bitcoin ETF, they launched a Memecoin index, which includes all the major meme coins out there: Doge, Sheep, Pepe, and then you got Whiff, Floki, Bonk. You could consider these, I guess, the blue chips of memes. So now they have an index where it tracks basically how memes are moving, right? And pretty soon, will there be a meme coin ETF? That would be absolutely nutty if that happens, right? But memes, some memes are still holding well, some are not. But some of the new ones, I got to give a shout out to one that my fellow compadres from Dirty Degen, Josh and Scott, they recently found one called Chuck. So I got to give them all the credit. But Chuck, I mean, I showed it last time, like a few days ago on stream because someone asked about it. Man, this meme is hot. This could be the next Costco hot dog, right? So there are still some that are doing very, very well. So memes are not going to go away. Just the other day, someone asked me about Injective. Why is it not moving? It got a little weaker since March, but it had a ferocious run in 2023 and even the beginning of this year. And now they're getting ready for Injective 3, which will put them on that path again because they're making their chain very, very deflationary. They're decreasing their inflation rate and they're increasing their burning based on stake tokens. And they're going to have the schedule where basically they're going to burn a whole bunch of tokens, making Injective super, super deflationary, right? So that is their new goal. So that could definitely get them back on the right track again because they were the hottest L1 in 2023. And you could argue the beginning of 2024 too. They're also launching a L3 on Arbitrum because Arbitrum does support L3s now. And this is just boosting interoperability between Cosmos, which is where Injective resides on, Solana, and Ethereum. Pretty awesome. Call of Duty like game, Shrapnel. Some of you guys may have heard of it, may play it. It's on Avalanche, right? They're going to enable credit card, debit card purchases. This is important. Fiat on-ramp, off-ramp. You know, those of us that have a lot of crypto, we just think, oh, we don't need to, you know, care about fiat on-ramp, off-ramp. But it's actually important because everyone new coming in, they don't have it. They have, that's why sexes like Coinbase are so popular because that's the only way for people to onboard, right? Utilizing their bank or credit card. So SEC argues that, hey, that $2 billion penalty that they want is legit, but Ripple's counter of $10 million is a slap in the face. Well, SEC could argue all they want, but they're going to lose the case. That's why Ripple is like, it's like, okay, we'll throw you a little bit. We'll throw you a bone, but we're not going to give you our whole dinner, right? $2 billion, even though Ripple could afford $2 billion, but who's going to pay $2 billion when Ripple knows that they're actually going to win, right? They just want this to go away. So we'll see. But Gary is on his way out soon. So we'll see if they settle before that or right before he leaves. He's like, okay, I'll accept or whatever. But, you know, everyone's wondering, why did Bitcoin go down further? Well, if you look at the ETFs, we don't know the exact numbers, but you know, Grayscale, looks like Grayscale did not sell today. So we can't blame Grayscale today. Okay, and we have a plus 11 million for Bitwise's Bitcoin ETF. We don't know about BlackRock and others, but today it's zero for Grayscale. So it doesn't seem like they are who's behind it, but tomorrow we'll see what the overall net inflow or outflow or net flow is. Yesterday it was net outflow, so I don't know, maybe today will be the same thing too. You know, this morning I was saying, you know, who is actually selling right now? Because it doesn't seem like it's the big boys. You know, it could be some of the VCs. Okay, so I saw this article, pretty telling in terms of how much is going to be sold in the coming months as it relates to altcoins and Bitcoin. And here's why. For the alts, there are a staggering number of L1s that are unlocking huge amounts of tokens. So if you're holding on one of these, most likely they will either get weaker or not move for quite some bit. I hate to say it, but when you unlock this much tokens for some of these projects, it's going to have effect. Now, for Aptos, Starkware, Arbitrum, right? Okay. 97 million for Aptos, 79 million for Starkware, 94 million for Arbitrum. I guess okay, not too bad. 53 million for Immutable, okay. But then someone like Avalanche, $333 million of Avalanche, if that's correct, that's a lot. 64 million of Optimism, 28 million Prime. I don't even know what Prime is, but 1 billion of SUI. And I saw that there's a lot of controversy about how much they are unlocking for the Series A investors and early investors, basically, and part of the treasury. A ton of SUI being unlocked. And then 48 million Ethna, and then 171 million for AltLayer, and 135 for Zai. Some of these are smaller projects, but you could see like Avalanche and SUI and all these L2s like Optimism, Arbitrum, Starkwire. You know, there's a lot. There's a lot of selling, unlocking. Well, there will be a lot of unlocking. Will there be a lot of selling? Probably. A lot of people have been waiting for these unlocks for a long time, especially early investors like VCs. So maybe that's part of the reason, because a lot of them are anticipating that, hey, there will be price volatility, maybe some selling. So there may be some that are pre-selling ahead of time. Okay, there's that. But as for Bitcoin, you got a ton, $11 billion of the Bitcoin being distributed to creditors of Gemini. Okay, this is one of the reasons why Grayscale has been selling so much, because Genesis, they needed to earn back some cash to pay back creditors like Gemini. So apparently, the deadline to pay out all the creditors is this October. So it's starting to happen now. There are a lot of people that are taking cash. A lot of people are getting Bitcoin, right? So maybe this is causing a little fear, okay? Or maybe some people are selling. But most of the big creditors, they already said that they're not selling. A lot of people that's been waiting for 10 years to get their money back, right? They're like, why not just hold for another few years or another 10 years? So I don't know if this is actually contributing to today's fall, but as we go forward until October, maybe. But it really depends. Again, like if you've been holding for 10 years or however many years you've been holding, it's not 10 years. That's too much. But like if you've been holding for 5 years, 8 years, whatever Mt. Gox crash, I don't know. Most likely you're a Bitcoiner and you know about the halving event and you know about the most bullish period of a cycle, which is right after a halving event. You know, this would be really silly time to be selling, right?